Okay, we're going to talk about clothing travel. And what that is how far you got to move your clothing or your garment to get to your handgun and your holster. What you see here is a typical t shirt that I would wear. Here we have what would be considered maybe a fall jacket. Here we have a hoodie jacket, probably mostly for fall. And here we have my typical winter jacket right here. And usually I got a t shirt tucked in and then the winter jacket over that. Or I might wear a thicker shirt rather than a t shirt to stay warmer with this winter jacket. Okay, so what we have here is a card that I filled out to show you kind of like a sample of what's going on with the clothing travel. This is below the belt line, so it's measuring the jacket or the shirt from the belt line down to the end of the material. Side travel is mostly for jackets, except for the hoodie jacket. It doesn't have a zipper. And what that side travel is when you're taking your right hand and you're moving the material sideways to get to your firearm. So with the winter jacket, we can see that it's 4 inches below the belt line, and there's 6 inches of travel. I have to move it sideways to get to the firearm. Now, with these jackets, what I'm talking about is unzipped. They're unzipped jackets, like you're going in to pay for your gas or something, and you got the jacket unzipped for that time being so that you can reach your firearm quickly. So once again, winter jacket, we got 4 inches below the belt line. We got 6 inches of side travel. The hoodie jacket, we got 3.5 inches below the belt line. Fall jacket, we got 3 inches below the belt line, which is nice. That's a very, very short distance. But notice the side travel is only 1 inch. And that's because I got a little bit of a belly on me. So that fall jacket, when it's undone or unfastened, there's only 1 inch that covers the holster before I move the material sideways to get to the holster. And then, of course, the t-shirt is really long, 6 inches. And the problem is going to be with t-shirts, but there's a way to remedy this situation. But there's also a way to remedy all these situations by using clips. And you can use these clips right here that are usually used for documents and papers and things like that. And what you do is you fold the material, or you can hem your t-shirts. You can have your t-shirts sewn so that they're hemmed up, so that travel, when you pull the garment or the t-shirt up like this, you can get to the firearm quicker. So what we're talking about is clothing travel here in this video today. And it does make a big difference because some of you might be concealed carrying. So I made this video for you guys for little tips and tricks. Basically what this means is the less clothing you have to move and the shorter distance, the faster you can get the firearm. And something that has a lot below the belt line, okay, and a lot of side travel, that can inhibit your draw, especially if it's like a windy day or just because of the amount of material you're moving. And a lot of people on their hip, they have their firearm placed in the wrong position to begin with. And that's a whole nother video I've got to talk about. And what that involves is where the seam line is, where your hand is naturally swinging on that seam line right there. People put their holster too far back on their hip. And I realize that if you have it forward, that when you sit down in your car, you have to move the holster back in its hip position because of the fact that you have to sit down. So I realize that. But once you get out of the car, you should be able to push that holster forward again in front of the seam line. But that's another video I'll probably talk about. And that's another thing to give you speed as far as your draw. So I've got about 8 or 12 tips, and a lot of these I found out myself, and I investigated myself about how I can be quicker and some of the cheats that I can use to be faster with my draw if I ever had to draw, if I was concealed carrying. But I do open carry. I don't open carry all the time, but I do like open carry also. So anyway, this is just a help video for you guys to show you some of the things that I wear in different parts of the seasons and stuff like that. And letting you know how much clothing material I have to move out of the way. And then, of course, I've got my cheats right here. So I do cheat a little bit, even though it doesn't look fashionable. Sometimes I will use these clips to get the advantage of having less material to move. But anyway, thank you for watching the video, you guys.